The idea of making animated movies, short films, or cartoons is fun until you actually try to do it. First, you have to make the models from scratch, usually by sculpting or vertex manipulation, then UV unwrap, texture, rig the character, and then finally work on the animation. You have to do these steps for every character that will be in your scene. So having add-ons or tools that can speed up these steps or make them easy is great and will turn what should have been a fun process from a frustrating process it actually is to a fun process as you envision it to be, especially for parts of your scene that won't be the main focus of your animation. Add-ons like the Blender Scatter add-on can help you populate your environment. Then I usually use the Simply Cloth add-on to help me with anything that has to do with cloth, from curtains, beds, character clothing. And to finish off my backgrounds, I pulled out the puresky add-on to get realistic clouds and lens flares. I'll do a few review and tutorial about this puresky add-on because I think it has a lot of features that you might find useful. Links to all these add-ons in the description. So now that we have the background elements set, let's focus on the front pieces, especially the animation bit. It's easy to get a single frame of a character to look flawless. It's when you start to add in character animation that you will start to see all the flaws, from intersecting meshes and near lifeless robotic animations. If even Hollywood doesn't get it right sometimes, it's going to be even harder for a small studio or a single artist to get it right without any help. Help from animation software like Cascader, a software for physics-based 3D character animation. Cascader brings you big Hollywood studio proprietary software functionality to you in a free package, at least if you are getting it within this period, as they're giving it out free for any early adapters. You can now animate like Hollywood, and just for comparison, here is a video from the Amazing Spider-Man VFX breakdown on how they got the animation of Spider-Man to look right.
Web goes tight, physics takes over. Director Mark Webb is particularly sensitive about making sure that the physics remain grounded and believable. To meet that directive, special tools were written by our development team to assure that gravity and other physical properties remained in check, wherever possible, and if cheats became necessary, the tools served as a guide for compensating or countering the action to assure that everything remains in balance. Artistic inspiration, as always, came from the comic book illustrations.
This is exactly what Cascader will help you achieve. Realistic physics animation. It's packed with a lot of features, including this ghost feature that lets you see previous keyframes and forward keyframes in one set. And with just a few keyframes, Cascader can use its physics algorithm to interpolate the in-betweens and make your physics animation look more realistic. You can have your keyframe animations conform to the physics laws for maximum realism using their center of mass tools. You're not limited to humanoids. You can also animate both humanoids and non-humanoid characters with any number of limbs. Cascader also provides rigging tools to work with your own models. You can create a character's physical rig directly in the program and customize it according to your character features. They also have a physically based AI with deep learning tools that allow you to focus on creativity and let the AI tools handle everything else for you, from balancing the character and giving you the right poses by estimating your current pose and comparing it to future poses that may arise from how your character is animated based on physics. You can get Cascader for free right now if you want to try it. So if you download the application right now, you also get a few files to examine or play around with. So if you go under Open, File, Open. Okay, so you can go under File, Open, and you see some of the samples they have. And if you open this scene, you can hit X on the keyboard to play back and X again to pause. Or you can use other timeline controls that you see here. And now to add a keyframe, so for example, if say we want a keyframe here, you can select any of these controls and I can switch between what you're selecting by clicking on this icon here, and it can give you different options to select from. So here you're just using these physics based controls to control your character armature, or you can just select this icon here to select the different joints or bones of your character. Now if you want to zoom in on a specific element of your character, you just hit T and that should zoom in on their selected character. You can hold down the Alt and then drag using your right mouse button to zoom in or zoom out, or you can just hold down Alt and then use your middle mouse wheel to zoom in or zoom out. You can also hold down Alt and then left drag to pan around your character or your scene, or you can use Alt and then hold down the middle mouse button to To pan, hit X to play. Again, if you want to see the trajectory, you just have to click on this point control mode so that you can see the different control and your trajectory as well. Now, if you want to add a keyframe, you have to hit F or press on this key icon, and then now I can just manipulate the character. I'm just going to select the center of mass for this character and move it up like that, and now you can see that we have a new keyframe right around there. But the problem is, if we play back using X, you can see we just snap to that frame. The reason for that is that every time you add a keyframe in this program, it's added using the interpolation, the step interpolation. So if we move between any of the keyframes and select that space, you see the kind of interpolation that has been added. So if you want it to go from this kind of snappy interpolation, you just want to select the space between the keyframes and change the interpolation here by just selecting any of this. So now you can see that it is more fluid than what we had before. And again, we have to do it to this other space here. So just select this to have a more fluid interpolation. There are a lot of features that I can't really go through in this single video, but if you want to learn more about this, you can just go under the help section, and you'll see a lot of videos, lessons you can learn from. There's also a YouTube playlist that you can watch to see how you can use the program. Yeah, so thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.